sensational details have emerged as investigations continue into the child trafficking racket involving Mother Teresa's Missionaries of Charity's Ranchi unit. Mirror now has accessed a copy of the complaint filed by the Child Welfare Committee that clearly shows the details of the racket. The staffer, who has now been arrested, has allegedly confessed to selling these children for 50,000 rupees to 1 lakh.
We started the day by speaking to the ADG operation of Ranchi Police, Mr. R.K. Malik. He said 2-3 points very clearly, that how first of all they received a complaint, an FIR from CWC about this infant being sold to a UP-based couple. Ranchi Police started the investigation and they initially arrested the staffer called Anima, and she confessed that it's not just about this baby who was born on 1st of May 2018 and sold on May 14, 2018, but before this also 3 more babies were sold. Apart from Anima, another person was arrested, and this time it was a nun. Now both of them are accused of selling the infants, the newborn babies, without following any legal procedure. So that's the case of the police. Ranchi Police is very clearly saying that for them it came as a case of 1 baby. In the investigation it came out that there are 3 more babies involved, which means 4 babies. Out of these 4 babies, 3 babies are traced, but 1 baby is yet to be traced. So Ranchi Police first of all is figuring out that what exactly, how exactly these babies were sold, where is the 4th baby, what all is the involvement of both the accused here. They are trying to make a foolproof case. Apart from that, they are also trying to figure out that there are 2 more branches of the missionary in the city. They are trying to figure out whether there is involvement, this kind of involvement from other branches as well. So CWC is saying that they are going to stick to their report. They will file the report, and they still believe that there are many more children who are illegally sold by people who are involved in these shelter houses.
Meanwhile, Bureau Now's executive editor Faye D'Souza spoke to the Secretary General of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of India, Reverend Theodore Mascarenhas, who claims that there is no involvement of the Missionary of Charity. Let's listen in.
I can tell you, Faye, that the Missionaries of Charity as an organization, as a congregation, is absolutely not involved in this. I can also tell you that they have been having regular visits of the CWC. The Hindu House, as late as 22nd June, received a certificate of excellence from the CWC and the state executive officer. So basically, what I'd like to say is this: we are open to any inquiry. We have nothing to hide.
Could you please explain to me, how is it possible for 4 babies to go missing? And for the people who are running the shelter, whether they're religious or otherwise, if you're running a shelter, how can 4 babies go missing from your shelter and you have no knowledge? So I'm right now bringing into question the process in which this shelter is being run, and the CWC people who signed that certificate that you're talking about.
You see, Faye, from what I understand from the sisters after speaking to them, there are 2 types of women that come into the house, into the shelter, any shelter. Those unwed mothers and those who really, their babies and others need help. Now, the unwed mothers decide whether they want to take their baby and go home, or they want to leave the baby, in which case the baby is to be handed over to the CWC. The babies that go with their mother, the mother gives a declaration, I'm taking the baby with me and going. Now what I found very interesting, and this is what CWC should explain, not only with these babies but other babies also, that when the mother, accompanied by somebody, goes and hands over the CWC, the sisters get no acknowledgement for having received a baby. I think this is a part of the problem, a little part of the problem, because Anima has told the sisters, I have given the baby to CWC. And this is how the sisters, they have trusted her. Since 2012 she has been working with them. They have trusted her, and she used to take the babies when the other sister was not there. So I think this is where the baby, instead of being handed over to the CWC, was given to some other couple, as I understand from the reports.
And our reporter spoke to the ADG operations of the Ranchi police, and contrary to the reports of the 280 missing babies, the police right now tell us that the case of 4 missing babies is under the scanner.
One of the staff, Anima Indwar, she confessed before CWC that actually 4 children had been sold by this house, 2 for a sum of 50,000 each. About one she did not know, and the child in question was sold for 1,20,000 rupees to this couple. So when they found this out, the CWC, they came to the police and they lodged an FIR. So then police registered the case, and it was arrested in the anti-human trafficking unit police station. And Sister Consilia and Anima Indwar were taken into custody. They are in judicial custody now. Apart from JJ, it is 370 IPC they have put. But basically, you see, it's what has come to light is that under the JJ Act, there are very well laid down guidelines for adoption and for handing over children to foster homes or anywhere. So this transaction which has occurred, this is clearly a case of selling of children.
Also now CWC is saying that it appears like a massive child trafficking racket, and now they are alleging that there are many entries, and when I talk about many hundreds of entries which are missing since 2015 to 2018. So if we talk about the scale of this, sir, how big the scale appears as of now, sir, and what is the focus of Ranchi police as of now?
You see, basically under the JJ Act, it is the CWC, the State Child Protection Unit and the District Child Protection Unit. They are supposed to have regular inspection, monitor the functioning of these childcare homes. So they will have to actually conduct a deep inquiry. I believe the state government has directed these bodies to conduct a deep inquiry into all the shelter homes. And I believe that by end of August the report should be available. So only after the reports are made available, and if it is found that the provisions of JJ Act has been violated, then we will come into picture. Before that, I think it's the statutory bodies who will have to take a call.
Meanwhile, the Women and Child Development Committee is all set to order an inspection of all missionaries of charity homes after the allegations of child trafficking have come to the fore. Now, the Women and Child Development Committee will write to all state governments to get all these childcare homes linked to the Central Adoption Resource Authority, which is under the WCD, to ensure direct supervision.
Sources within the Women and Child Development Ministry have now said that they are going to be ordering inspection of all the Ministry of Charity homes across the country, and this after allegations surfaced, and we have seen the arrests being made as well of child trafficking. These are some very, very alarming, grave allegations that are now being levelled against Missionary of Charity, and this particularly coming in from Ranchi, where currently the probe is still underway. We also understand that there have been few arrests that have also been made. Looking at all of this, the sources within the Women and Child Development Ministry have said that they are going to be ordering an inspection, a nationwide inspection of all the Missionary of Charity homes across the country. Not just this, we understand that the day-to-day operations and the functioning of all the childcare homes across the country falls under the respective state governments, and hence the Women and Child Development Ministry will also be writing to the respective states, to all the states, to get all the childcare institutes, facilities under CARA, which is the Center for Adoption and Research Authority. Now under CARA, which comes under the Women and Child Development Ministry, there is going to be direct supervision. This is what the sources claim. More importantly, they are going to be writing to all the state governments in an attempt to bring in more transparency, in an attempt to bring in better supervision, because remember, there are so many childcare facilities, private, that are mushrooming across the country, that right now it seems that the Women and Child Development Ministry finds it imperative to bring them all under CARA, which is going to ensure direct supervision. All of these being made in the light of what has happened in Ranchi, the kind of allegations surfacing there with OP Singh, who's the former CWC, also going ahead and leveling some grave allegations, saying it doesn't just go ahead with just 4 babies being sold. It seems to be a larger nexus which includes larger people from across who are being involved in this, and hence it is becoming very, very important for the central government to really intervene and bring under all these problems that are right now surfacing. So right now 2 big developments taking place, one being all the missionaries of charities in this country are going to be inspected by the Women and Child Development Ministry.